merry meet and fare thee well. Settle in for a story with me, Astin Gaël. Thank you so much for being here today. This is your every other day collective message for June the 28th. It is Sunday. Sunday fun day. Do you do something fun on Sunday fun day, or is there another day out of the week that you prefer to have fun? I am recording this on Thursday, June the 25th, but when you see this on Sunday, June the 28th, I will be excitedly waiting for Monday, June the 29th. I'm already excited, if we're being honest, on Thursday. It is Nature Day, which is just kind of my partner and I's foolproof plan to staying sane during his busy season. So, couple of times a month we head out to a river. We have one particular spot that we've decided is our favorite spot, but we go try out other locations around New Mexico. And we bring, I don't know, 5 or 6 beers, bunch of snacks, and enjoy ourselves. So I'm looking forward to that. But drop it in the comments, what you like to do on Sunday Fun Day, or whatever day you choose to have fun. You've got 2 days left if you are part of the queer community and you want a free reading. I'm not saying I have to do it in the month of June, but you have to claim it in the month of June. After the 30th, I'm not offering free readings anymore, and I'm only offering limited personal readings. I've got to put down the readings ball. Will not be doing collective readings beginning the month of July moving forward. I will come back, but right now I am in the process of conceiving the novel, our system's first novel. So that is very precious to me, and I don't have the energy to give this project while I nurture the beginning stages of that project. So keep up with the community tab though, because there should be engaging posts over there. Everything else you need to know is in the description box down below. If you are benefiting from these readings in any way, even if that is just giggling at my random singing, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment down below. I want to know what you do on your fun day. And give this video a share. I would appreciate it. We are working our way through What There Is to Love About a Man every day. We read a short excerpt and we try to create a story around the theme of that excerpt. Today's theme is choices. When it mattered most, he chose love over fear and compassion over judgment. He listened to his own intuition rather than the din of voices around him. From there on, all his choices became easier. Sometimes he flipped a coin, but he made his choices and he lived with them and never had any regrets. After weeks of sleepless nights, he decided to start his own home-based business and pass on the lucrative contract that came with a 3-hour daily commute. He chose time over money and less over more. He chose simplicity. He chose joy. He chose to stay and work through the whole mess, even though it would have been a lot easier to walk away. He went with authenticity instead of illusion. He chose reading over television, the future instead of the past. When faced with the choice of losing his family or losing his soul, he chose a way to keep them both. When he knew he had the choice between living his life the right way or his way, the choice was so easy, it was no choice at all. Yeah, I gotta read that last line again. When he knew he had the choice between living his life the right way or his way, the choice was so easy, it was no choice at all. What a good way to close out the month of June. For my fellow trans people, I understand that the choice to live life your way is the wrong way, according to society, according to some of your friends, but maybe they weren't ever really friends. Definitely according to some of your families. But the choice to embrace one's own autonomy is usually such an easy choice that it's not a choice at all. Even if the choice is abandon them. I don't consider it abandoning when it's for you. You're choosing you. Because you can't choose you in an environment that tells you that you are not you. All right. We're going back to the Viking deck. I brought my charms, but I'm just not called to them as much as I am this deck. So, choices. I just saw a card with a cat with a really angry face, and it made me think, I bet that's my cat today. Like, my partner and I left pretty early this morning, and nobody's been back home since. So he's like, what the hell? I'm never left alone 2 days in a row. We went grocery shopping yesterday. Sorry, Xander. All right. Tell me what I need to know about the choices that are being made. Okay. Wow. Hell yeah. Look at that. 4 of Pentacles. And I mean, this one was sticking out of the deck. Like, this person was staring me down out of the deck. Very serious face on this person. And I want to say maybe even like solemn. You're keeping something to your chest. I mean, they're even holding those pentacles really tightly to their chest. And they're like hanging around, chains almost. They remind me of the maesters, the grand maesters in Game of Thrones. Something I didn't know because I've never read the novels, but my partner has. You get a lot more information in the novels, obviously. Something I did not know is that those chains each represent like an area of knowledge that the maesters had to learn and master according to the Citadel. And there's all kinds of subjects that maesters have to know about. So, if you're watching the show and you're paying close enough attention and you're counting the chains, like, you can tell which maesters went farther. So there's something, I don't know, you're keeping something to your chest about what? About how far you've come, about how many things you've actually mastered. Um, my nose is itching, and I think that means something. It usually insinuates some sort of money that's incoming. No, maybe that's your palms itching. The nose itching, I think, is somebody is thinking about you. Yeah, somebody is like thinking about you. And yeah, maybe you sense them thinking about you. Maybe you've even like um heard the phone ring, but it didn't actually ring. Do you is this just my psychosis, or does this happen to other people? Like, um, yeah, like that somebody is calling, but they're not actually calling. It's an energy. It's an energy. They're calling. I don't know. They're calling for you in the divine and in the astral realm or something. But it's like they're too chicken shit to actually pick up the phone in the real world. And I think maybe it's because you've got a look on your face like this. Like they're just like, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't call. All right, yeah. So we've got is that the Ace of Wands? Okay, yeah. So we've got the Ace of Wands, Thor's hammer, Mjolnir. Okay, so some facts that I do know about Mjolnir. Um, Thor could throw Mjolnir however fucking far he wanted to throw it, and it would come back to him. It's a part of him. It's like uh like swordsmen that think that their sword is just an extension of their arm. The, and it's got that boomerang effect. You are initiating a project that is like an extension of you. Uh, Sorry, shadows out of the corner of my eye. Is it the mental illness, or are they deep in a channel? One will never know. Uh, Okay. Yeah, let's read this out. The Ace of Wands is symbolized by Mjolnir, the powerful hammer of the thunder god Thor. Mjolnir represents the strength, protection, and creative power of lightning. Just as just as Thor wields Mjolnir to protect Asgard from threats, the Ace of Wands indicates that the seeker is offered divine protection and guidance to follow their instincts and ambitions. Now, this definitely ties into the reading from the 26th. Okay, so if you haven't watched that, go back and watch it, because we started by talking about passion, and then we moved into talking about this strength that was being protected, some sort of, like a battle of wills. And your strength in the battle is being protected. And so now I'm seeing this, and it's like double confirmation. We're still on the same story. most likely because it's only been 2 days, right? So, um, uh, you're keeping this to your chest because you know the people that this is being protected from. You know the tricksters. I mean, look at that. The Two of Pentacles is also coming through. That kind of want to play with your resources. Uh, you know who you're protecting yourself from. All right. The Two of Pentacles card draws its essence from the image of, I'm going to butcher this name, Andremenor, the mystical cook of Valhalla, who prepares feasts for the slain warriors. The act of juggling represents the seeker's ability to deftly handle various duties. This assumes that the seeker is able to manage his worldly affairs, perform his duties, and find harmony in his daily tasks. The pentacles in the air suggest that the seeker is adept at tackling practical issues and making informed decisions. So, 412 was also a number that came through in the reading from the 26th. And we've got the Four of Pentacles, the Ace, One of Wands, and the Two of Pentacles. So 412 is really a significant number right now. But going back to the fact that this little creature is looking kind of like a trickster, I get that, they're not. They're the cook of Valhalla. No tricks there. They're keeping the slain warriors, uh, you know, full of meat and ale and mead. But we were also talking on the 26th about a lack of temperance. So, I don't think that consuming copious amounts of mead after I've died and have arrived in Valhalla, I'm knocking on wood because, I cannot confirm or deny that I will die in battle or, going to war for justice, but I'm manifesting it. So, look, I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to consume copious amounts of mead in the afterlife. But if there is a cook of Valhalla here in the earthly realm, you're keeping stuff to your chest because you're like, yeah, I don't want you to fucking invite me out to celebrate and have this be, I'm hearing the word rumspringer, which I know is like the phase in an Amish person's life where they're allowed to go experience the real world. They let everybody have this experience. It's up to them at an age of their determination. They being the community, the system. They're like, hey, look, it's your choice. We're talking about choices. You have autonomy. Do you want to live off the land? Do you want to go be a normal, somebody that's not Amish? Or are you going to stay, right? And Rumspringer is the opportunity to go out and experience the real world with an open door to return. Now, I know if one leaves outside of this little space that they have allotted, you ain't coming back. You know, it's a no swinging door policy. You are like, look, I've made it here. I've made it to these 4 pentacles, and it's a no swinging door policy on going back to 2 pentacles. You know, I'm not going to go back to the time where I was like, do I go with this one or do I go with this one? And if you're asking me, when it comes to pentacles, that choice is, do I pursue my own thing, entrepreneurism, or do I, go the corporate route? And that isn't always corporate. Could be the service industry. The 9 to 5 life. You're not going back. Whatever choice you made when you were there, you're sticking with it. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Okay. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Fool. And beneath that, we have, I can't make this shit up. It's Temperance. That's from the freaking story on the 26th. We were talking about temperance. You're no fool when it comes to tempering your fire anymore. You know when to drink, and you know when to be sober. You know when to party, and you know when to rest. You know when to lift weights, and you know when to go with a flow routine. You see what I'm saying, right? This is all balance, right? When I was building up my chest muscles so that I had chest muscles for when my top surgery happened, right? Like I wanted this to already be built up so that when they removed the fat, which is what boobs are, they're just fat, I'd have something underneath there, like, that was already a foundation to head into building a body that looks like a man's. I did not do that very mindfully. I was so obsessed with building strength, building up muscle, that I forgot to keep cardio. And you gotta have balance. We're rambling at this point. So is this story over or should we clarify? Let's clarify. Oh, and I'm attracting gnats and fuck. All right. Clarify the 4 of Pentacles for me. Okay, so this came out like ambiguous, but I'm gonna take it upright. You are coming out as the High Priestess, right? Like, picture this person in the 4 of Pentacles energy as this person on the High Priestess card. I mean, they kind of look the same, except for the person on the High Priestess card barely has a face. So people see you as a seer. They know that you know things. They see you in a feminine energy. It's not to say that you are a woman. They just sense a essence of receptivity and I don't want to say kindness, like masculine, and like masculine energy isn't kind, but it like oh, soft. Yeah, like there's like a softness to you, you know? Uh um okay, so and then the Page of Wands, sideways. I want to say people when they see you, maybe they sense that your feminine essence is a little louder than your masculine essence, but they can sense your masculine essence. And your masculine essence is, I don't know, a little young, right? Like a page energy is a younger energy. It's not a they're not a king, they're not a high priest. The your feminine energy is older, okay, than your masculine energy. It I don't know, more mature. So you've matured more emotionally than you have financially, than you have physically, like what we see in the material world. Um but you are eager to work, eager to achieve. You know, there is ambition here. And so let's clarify, what is that ambition? You know, what are you working towards? Collaboration. Collaboration, 3 of Coins. Um So I don't know, maybe you're online, you know, maybe you're I don't want to say the word influencer, but you know, you maybe you're doing tarot readings on YouTube too. And you know, you're hoping to join hands with somebody, so to speak. You know, I see some of the YouTubers that I listen to that have been on for a lot longer than me, obviously, and they've built up these followings, and they've partnered up with one of the ones I see the most is Otter Spirit, and they do these little bracelets with crystals. So I don't know, maybe you have a product that you want to be able to send out into the world to other people, or you're seeking to be the person that gets things sent to them. Um and you're in pursuit of this right now. And it's like solid, it's solidified. I don't know. This reminds me of like the truck drivers when they honk their horn. And if you do this while you're on the road, you know, they're supposed to honk their horn for you, or you know, supposed to. It's an old wives' tale, or a you know, an old legend. But yeah, I've always gotten a kick out of that. So like, I don't know, people see you right now and like they see that you kind of just you get a kick out of life. Like it's really fun to watch you just enjoy yourself. So there's that if you didn't know. Clarify the 2 of Pentacles. And this is an energy that we've said, you know, we're not going back to. But I don't know, maybe clarify what choice was made when we were there. Dodecagram. Okay, so a choice was made regarding yeah, okay. So I need to really actually study more about each of these shapes, but I've been taking the number of points on each star and comparing it to the houses in astrology. So a dodecagram lines up with the 12th house. So I'm just sharing with you that I don't actually know what a dodecagram represents. And this is a part of my chaotic deck put together by a friend, so I don't have access to any of these guidebooks. All right, now that we've gotten that side note out of the way, you made a choice when it came to aspects of the 12th house. All right, this is secrets, this is the taboo, the dark arts, the occult, this is fallen angels, and this is loss or grief. Now, look, if we go back to this book, right, I want to remind you where we started today, because this is the second time in a row that we are making a full circle back. We've stayed on topic. When faced with the choice of losing, here's that loss, his family, or losing his soul, he chose a way to keep them both. When you were in this Two of Pentacles, you made a choice regarding to loss. I don't think it looked like the right choice to a lot of people. But somehow you've ascended to the Four of Pentacles. So you've made progress forward. All right. Now look, after the 4 comes the 5. And the 5 of Pentacles isn't very auspicious energy. But you got to get to that point. You got to pass through that point to get to the 6 of Pentacles, to get to the 7 of Pentacles, so on and so forth. Final messages. All right. All right. Your ancestors, guides, and deities are saying, look, you don't really need our help with strength and fortitude anymore. You can do that on your own. You don't really need our help anymore staying out of your head. You've mastered yourself. Let's not get too cocky, okay? Because when we start using the word master, it opens the world up to being like, okay, well, you want a challenge. You know when to ask for help from them. They're no longer giving it freely. At one point in time, they were this person guiding you. Like, they were the light for this dragon that was just, I don't know, a little out of control, right? Like, your demons were running the show. I think maybe you are tying back to the reading from the 26th, it's apparently really important. At the end of the reading for the 26th, there was this kind of forewarning that sometime in the future, you are going to get the sense that you need to pull back from the world. And we said the next eclipse season, and that is going to take us into, further into the year. That is going to take us into the fall. We should all be pulling back as it comes to the winter, because you want to be able to go within. But you need to keep that in mind already, right? Because it's like the summer just began and it's already over. This is how time works, we just wake up day after day after day and we feel like it's moving slowly, but it's not. It's, it moves faster than we think, than we can really perceive. And I'm ending it here. The Eight of Wands. There is a big change coming. There is movement on its way. And this was mentioned in the 26th reading as well. Don't lay down, don't lay down and die. But back to that temperance, back to that balance. Remember that when you act, you need to rest. Okay? Because when this news comes, it's likely to have you on the move. It's likely to have you busy, doing things, achieving more pentacles. But you want to have the stamina for it, right? You want to be able to actually enjoy the fruits of your labor. So be sure to give yourself time to rest now. All right, that is all I have for you today. Until next time, be well, be you.